I see so many posts time and time again. It gets to the point to where these posts are kind of predictable. As soon as I read, I'm not even kidding, 99% of these posts, as soon as I read the sentence, I'm weird or I've always been weird, I scroll down in that comment and I see I was diagnosed with Asperger's or I have ADHD. It gets to the point to where it gets kind of predictable, where you just see I'm weird or I'm different or I feel like an alien, and then you say in your head they probably have a mental condition or maybe they're neurodivergent, and then you read down, you scroll down, and then you are right most of the time. Not trying to be stereotypical or anything, it's just something that I've noticed. Let's talk about it. Being weird isn't a mental disorder. It can be a part of a mental disorder, but being weird itself is not. Same thing with being different. One thing I don't get is whenever I look up I am weird or why am I weird or whatever, autism or ADHD pops up as an explanation, and I never really got that because there's other mental disorders that can make you weird, like schizotypal. I know that's rare and no one thinks about that, but that needs more awareness. And what about mania? Mania makes you weird. Why don't I hear that much talk of, oh, some people are weird due to the manic episode? I never hear that. It's always autism or ADHD as the explanation for being weird, and there's other mental disorders. Schizophrenia. The talking to their voices or the delusions make them a little different, a little, literally, there's non-bizarre delusions and there's bizarre delusions. In the psychiatric field, that's what they call it. You know, we just need more awareness for other mental disorders that can make you weird or different or whatever. You know what I mean? And you know what? I never really liked how being weird is connected to autism. I never really liked that. I never really agreed with that because I never considered autistic people as that. I never considered them as weird. I've considered them as different, but and outside of mental health topics, being weird could be due to just having a passionate interest or interests in things, or having a weird fetish. I never hear that as an explanation for being weird. That needs more awareness too. Something else that I want to say though is I'm having contradictory thoughts. A part of me wants to say, okay, everyone has weirdness and normalness to them, but then there's another contradictory thought where I'm saying to myself, I'm not weird because I don't display weird behavior. See, I'm starting to define weirdness as just a behavioral thing. So if you have weird thoughts, that doesn't make you weird. Kind of like having bad thoughts doesn't make you bad, only if you act upon it, kind of a thing. So this is my new opinion. I know not everyone will agree with that, but I think weird actions is what makes you weird. I don't believe having a weird interest makes you weird, or having a weird belief system about aliens or ghosts. I don't believe that makes you weird. You know what I mean? Now, I know a lot of people won't agree with that. They'll go, what if someone's dressing really weird? Okay, yeah, you got me there, but I don't know. I mean, well, dressing weird could probably fit in the acting upon section, the behavioral section of category of things, basically. But yes, dressing weird. It's not a weird behavior as in going, but it's more of a non-verbal, I guess. I don't even know. I don't know. It's just so yeah. I don't know, but that's just how I define weirdness now. It's more of a behavioral thing. And when I look at my behavior, I go, well, I don't act that weird, so I can't be weird. Yes, I have weird traits, like I have weird interests, but just because dude, some of the most normal acting people have a weird fetish, or they're just an average Joe that works 9 to 5 or whatever. You know what I mean? Or they have a weird, intense hobby, like Star Wars or whatever. Or like, but other than that, they're just pretty average. That's kind of like me in a way. Like, yes, I have a weird belief system. Like, I have a weird belief system, or like I believe in weird things, and I'm attracted to weird things and I like weird things, but how I act is mostly normal or average or whatever. I don't have repetitive patterns of behavior, or if I do, it's not extreme. I don't act random or anything like that. A lot of the stuff you saw in uh, a lot of the stuff you saw on my YouTube was kind of just doing it for the camera. I don't really act like I don't act like that in real life. Usually, I don't. People could say, what if the person has weird speech? That goes back to the weird behavior. But I don't have weird speech, so I don't know. But yeah, being weird and different is not a mental disorder. It can be a part of mental disorders, but it's not. And it's not just autism. People with schizophrenia can act different. I know the word weird is kind of offensive. I don't like using the word myself, so don't try to cancel me. I'm just using it with quotation marks, weird. But, abnormal psychology is not just autism. It can apply to schizotypal, manic episode, and bipolar, elevated mood, disorganized thoughts, jumping from one topic to the next. You know, um, you know, But that's just I'm sick of looking up I'm weird or why am I weird, and mental disorders are listed. Specifically the autism and ADHD stuff. Like, guys, there's other stuff that can make you like that, you know? And you don't have to have a mental condition to be like that. Some people are just weird. What happened to just being weird and different just because? You know what I mean? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh yeah, I typed um in Google out of curiosity. I hate weird people. I just typed that into Google. In reality, I don't, but I just typed it into Google to see if there was any people that actually hate weird people. I wanted to know if there was any like normal people that actually do hate weird people. And I saw a comic on Twitter that said something along the lines of someone, I don't know what it was, but it was a comic, and one of the characters said, "Did you know that a lot of weird people are autistic? And a lot of autistic people are weird." I disagree with that so much, and I replied to that, and obviously I got no replies back because I was late to the party, aka it was posted a long time ago. But you got all these people saying, yeah, there's a connection between being weird and being autistic, and it's like, you can be weird without being autistic. Maybe you just like medieval stuff. Maybe you're just a pagan and you just believe in weird pagany shit. There's this thing called what is it called? Cottage core. I don't know what it is exactly, but I think it's this thing on TikTok where people are like trying to, I don't know what it is, so I might get the definition of it wrong, so I apologize, but it's something to do with like trying to bring back the old, I don't know what it is, but it's just like cottage lifestyle basically, and it's like on TikTok or something. Or there's a witch talk, which is like a subset of TikTok where people talk about paganism and witchcraft and shit, and people could see that as weird, but it's not a mental disorder. Or being a furry, it's not a mental disorder. So I don't know. I just think you could be weird without having any mental disorders at all. I know people like to connect the two together, and they like to make up these statistics. And even if these statistics are true, oh, that's true though. It's true. There's a connection between being autistic and being a furry and being LGBT and being all this stuff, and it's just like cool. But I'm a furry, and I'm LGBTQ plus IA 123 all that ABC stuff, and I'm not autistic. Well, I'm not Asperger's. I don't know if I'm. I don't know. I don't know what I am, but it's okay to break stereotypes. I love India. I love all those countries that practice Buddhism and Hinduism. I don't know how many of them practice that. I don't identify as anything though. I'm not Christian. I don't. I'm not. Whatever. Oh, like because I'm not any category, I must have a mental illness. I must be schizotypal. No, 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 no. I like the culture. I don't agree with any. I don't agree with any culture, but like, if I had to pick one, it would be the Eastern because they don't do this. They don't hop on this bandwagon of there must be something wrong with you kind of a thing. They see it as a spiritual gift. I do too. All these psychiatrists are judgmental. They have no room at all for the possibilities of the spiritual. You talk about the spiritual with a psychiatrist. You talk about the ghosts and the aliens. They're gonna label you as something. And let me just say, the West is obsessed with labels. These labels are real though. Like these experiences are real. Like there is people that have schizophrenia and bipolar and schizotypal, but not everyone that's different. Not everyone that is different has these problems. You get these Neil deGrasse Tyson worshippers, these scientists. Scientists are ignorant too. They think, we got it all figured out, and even if we don't get it, even if we don't, we're just going to reject the greatest teachers of the freaking world. And I'm not Christian at all, but like, I'm not any of that. But like, they're gonna ignore what Buddha said, what Zoroaster, Zarathustra said, even Jesus. Even though I'm not Christian or anything, like Jesus, Jesus Christ kind of said some like meaningful stuff, But they're gonna ignore all of that. They're gonna ignore all the ancient alien possibilities. Like ancient aliens might be a thing. All these structures, and you're gonna tell me that people from back then did all that? I don't know, man. Some conspiracies came out to be true, like the UFOs, and I just don't agree that I'm schizotypal. I mean, only one doctor thought I had some kind of like schizo something, but everyone else talk about my weird beliefs. They're like, okay, you're a Satanist? Okay. You're a spiritualist? Okay. Because I switch my beliefs a lot, and I make up my own beliefs, and I mix beliefs with other beliefs. There's nothing weird beliefs in itself. Is it a mental disorder? I said that somewhere. Where did I say that though? Yeah. It's not. Look out, just to wrap this up. So many near-death experiences and pre-birth experiences of people. Near-death experiences be like, you have to reincarnate. You have to go back. And then pre-birth experiences be like, you have to incarnate. Hop in that body. You have to go to planet Earth. These are the themes that I see in near-death experiences. These themes are not in religion at all, yet they keep getting popped up in people's experiences. Why is that? The only conclusion I can think of is that this is real, people. It's not even my belief anymore. This is real. There's something going on in the spiritual realm, and we are being forced to come here. Whether it's the Hindu gods, the Sumerian, Anunnaki, whatever the hell, there's spiritual beings that people keep on meeting. I'm not talking about the Jesus stuff, and they keep saying, it is your mission to come back here. And I'm just adding this all up. That's all I'm doing. It's not like I woke up one day and I started believing in elves.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, people. Trying to control the population. You know, like this is what I believe. You know what I mean? That's what I believe. You know, Project Blue Beam. They said it was crazy. I was right about the frogs. I was right about those UFOs. You know what I'm talking about? But no, seriously. People that think differently, the spiritual people, the schizotypals and the schizophrenics, they're onto something. And all these logical people, especially the overly logical people, the geeky people, the geeky nerdy people, they're wrong. You know? The third eye is blocked. I'm not even coming from a religious standpoint. I'm coming from a weird esoteric standpoint, but keep believing what you want to believe, because I have the truth, and it's not schizotypal. You just haven't opened your third eye yet.
I'm not delusional. I'm not mentally ill. There was a video of a guy that had I don't know if he has the highest IQ ever. I don't know if it's like the Guinness Book of World Records. I don't know what it is, but there's a guy out there that has an IQ of 200. And you would expect this guy to be a total atheist. You would expect him to sound just like Neil deGrasse Tyson, super skeptical and stuff like that. You would expect him to sound like Stephen Hawking, or just, I don't know, just someone like that. But no, this guy has an IQ of 200, and not only that, but he believes in psychokinesis, telepathy, the afterlife, and even God. All this time I'm thinking I'm delusional, I'm mentally ill, there's something wrong with me, I'm bonkers, you know, maybe I have, maybe it's schizotypal, maybe it's schizophrenia, maybe I have maybe I have a low IQ because I believe in weird, wacky stuff. Well, I mostly feel like I have a low IQ because I can't do certain stuff. But I don't know. But because of this guy, it makes me feel like, what if I'm above average IQ because I believe in the weird schizotypal personality disorder stuff? You know? I'm telling you guys, all this time I'm sprouting out and spouting out and spitting out all this crazy quote unquote stuff. And this guy believes in it. The afterlife, the paranormal, multiple dimensions, telepathy. I believe in schizotypal. One of the symptoms is telepathy. Well, I believe in telepathy. Not in this reality. I believe telepathy can be possible in the next life, or in another reality, or another dimension. And it's not even a full-on belief anyways. It's not even a full-on belief anyways. I'm saying it could be possible. And even if it's not possible through human evolution, it can be possible through some kind of weird technology. Maybe Elon Musk can develop some kind of telepathy, mind-reading thing. Maybe one day that may be a thing. Probably not. That sounds kind of illegal, and it seems that might go against the privacy of the individuals. The individual has their own rights to have privacy of thoughts, but I just wanted to just mention that. I don't know what the guy's name is, I apologize, but just look up 200 IQ guy and you might find him. His name is Chris Langan. But that's gonna do it for this video. I'm not mentally ill. My IQ might be really high.